Okay, so making simple audio redactions. I'm Jim Simpson. To do this, we're going to use a program called Audacity. It's free. If you don't already have it, there's a training on how to get that or get it installed. But again, it costs absolutely nothing. One of the nice things about Audacity, if we bring up our audio here, get some audio from an interview. It's actually a video interview. One of the nice things about Audacity is it doesn't really matter what we're working with. I can drag in or open up a video interview just as easily as I can an audio interview. So in any event, you should have some audio to work with. If you don't know how to get the audio off of an audio CD, there's training on that too. But assuming you've got some audio that's ready to cut, we're just going to drag it on in there, and almost immediately you're going to see a visual representation of the audio that we're going to work with. To work with audio, we're simply going to highlight or select the area that we're going to work with. In this case, we want to get rid of that annoying silence at the beginning of our interview. Obviously, you don't want our jury sitting there for 2 or 3 minutes listening to silence before the interviewers come into the room and start asking questions. So we've selected that and it's ready to work with. To get rid of it, we're simply going to hit the delete key and it's gone. We're going to do the same thing with the end. We're just going to select the end, and I'm going to modify that selection by clicking on the end. I've got the area I want to get rid of. I'm going to hit the delete key and it's gone. Now to zoom in, I'm going to hold the control button down and move the scroll wheel so that I can search for the Miranda invocation, and we're going to try to get rid of that. So first thing that we need to do is find that. I can start playing at any point in this audio by clicking up at the top.
See you get out of a car where there's a kidnapped man in the back seat. They saw that.
And the P key will allow me to toggle the pause play, so I can move throughout here and sort of search for the point where he invokes his Miranda rights, and then we'll select that area and we'll modify it.
I like to invoke my rights.
Perfect.
There it is. That was easy. So,
Gun in the car.
Like I say, from here on, I like to invoke my rights.
okay, so what I want to do is I want to, again, holding down the control key, I want to zoom into that area.
Arrest.
I'm already in the arrest. I got handcuffs.
And a gun in the car.
Like I say, from here on, I like to invoke my.
Okay.
From here on, I like to invoke my rights.
Perfect.
Like I say, from here on, I like to invoke my.
The car.
Like I say, from here on, I
It's
like
going to
to
be
invoke
right
my rights.
about in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this area and then try to find the end of our cut.
My rights.
Perfect. And arrest.
Okay. So I'm going to modify that probably about right here.
Like I say, from here on, I like to invoke my rights.
Perfect. And arrest.
Okay, that's about right. So this is the area that we want to work with. That's the area we want to cut out. Now, rather than simply deleting it, what we're going to do is we're going to place a sensor in there. To do that, we're going to go to Generate. One of the things about this is you can't apply any effects whatsoever while the audio is paused. Instead, what you need to do is you need to stop it. And once it's stopped, you'll notice these effects will come into view. So here we're going to go Generate, and we're going to go to Noise. Now, by default, the amplitude of the white noise that we're going to apply in place of the defendant's invocation is set at 0.8, and that's ridiculously high. The 0.8 refers to these numbers over here on the left-hand side, and you'll see it's much louder than anything that's present in that interview, and you absolutely need to modify that, because otherwise you'll just blow the jury out of the box. I like about 0.2, 0.1, 0.2 works pretty well. And when we hit OK, we'll see that now our segment has been replaced by essentially white noise. So if
And a gun in the car. And arrest.
okay, so if we come in there and play now, then that segment where he invokes has been replaced by the white noise, and we're all set. So anyway, we've made our redactions, and now what we need to do is get this out of here. To do that, we're going to stop it, come over to File, and Export, and now we're just going to save it in some place that we can find it later on I'll put it back in the training folder. And I usually like to put the parentheticals R at the end just so that I know that it's been redacted. We don't want to save it as the default format, which is WAV. Instead, we're going to save it as a WMA. It's just an easier format to work with. So we select that format. We're going to come into Save. We can assign certain attributes to it if we want, comments and things of that nature, but we're not going to do that. So we're just going to hit OK. Sample rate is fine. We're going to hit, and now it's taking the audio and it's saving it in that particular location. So if we go back there, we see our culp interview redacted. Now, what we want to do, obviously, since we're going to be playing this and we may be entering it into evidence, is we need to put this on a CD. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our CD-ROM, put in a blank, make sure it's a blank CD and not a DVD. And once we do that, if you're using Windows 7, you'll see the prompt, and we're going to go burn files to disk. We're going to click with a CD or DVD player. That'll allow the jury to play it on a CD player as opposed to a computer. Click Next. Now, what you may find is when this window comes up, you're going to see under Files ready to be written to the disk, you may have some stuff in there. I have some temporary files in there that are left over from the last time I burned something to a disk. It's real important that you get rid of those because obviously we don't want that on our CD. So we're going to go delete temporary files. Are we sure? Absolutely. And if we move this down, we can come back to our redacted audio clip, and we're just going to drag that down into the file to be written. You may see a desktop INI if you've got hidden files view. Don't worry about that. That's not a big deal. Now we just go burn to disk, and speed is okay. You can title it if you want. Come on to next. Make an audio CD for standard audio CD players. That's important. Click next, and at this point, what will happen is they'll bring up the Windows Media Player, which is the default for burning these files. And now we come on over to Start Burn, and it's prepping, and we're done. We'll know you'll know when you're done because your computer will kick the CD out. And of course, obviously, before you use it in court, maybe give it a listen, make sure that it is turned out the way that you thought it would before you're playing it in front of a jury. And that's all there is. Thanks for watching.